should get published next month, hopefully. This is Harry Matthews, and the following will be Nina Simone. In one picture, I am at a bar and I'm reading a book. It's the only picture that we have right now, and we're sitting still, but the mind runs to other places, like when we were on the move, and the windows are closed, forming that kind of dust-translucent skin as we run under somebody else's sun. And there are two people in that picture, and neither of them could hear the motor. Neither you nor I, us nor we, and the two of them are in the frame. You could search for their connotations, the right associations, but all that was there was the silence. Miles and miles and miles and miles of it, leveling itself out. It's an equation simply stated, and mathematics for animals in motion. Me, now metrics me, and you are, of course, as you are. An imperial subject tethering yourself to things, to tables and chairs and beautiful places. Everything's an adjective, and you are the driver to the passive passenger beside you, and I am something else. And as we move, we are dealing in silences and no longer in distances, and in love with that idea. And it would become a joke on the concrete as we would move along, a joke that we're happily reaching for. It would drift and bleed, drift and bleed, and bunch in like bed sheets as a feeling. It'd shuttle through towards a kind of formalism, a way or a style, a fact or feeling, or a manner of speaking, a means of working, a methodology for living, an advocate for some formal jealousy, a conceptual rhyme. We've garlands of big and blooming flowers here, a magnolia, or a line looking for its couplet, or a sculpture that wants to be a song, a key with designs on a hinge or a lock. And our love would read like a lookbook of 21st century interpretations of 20th century experiments, and morally ours would be as empty as everyone else's. It's always horrific and sentimental and quiet and slow, but we could share in that horror. We could keep it for ourselves. There was always something there to share, enough of it for two, for dinner, bread and water, and we're clipped by signs of the road. Darker wine, its signals, the road. And as we name ourselves after it, the road, now and now and now and now, the signs will carry a little lore, the light, no stars. Remember the highway ciphers in other places. You are thinking, they would say, of adopting a highway, they would say, lighting out, as always, for greener pastures, or just any elsewhere and anywhere. And the lights, how they would always flicker, here and here, the fuckers are on the move, here and here and here and here, and gently, gently they would mark the passage of time, here and here and here. And at 1/25th of a second we have a glimpse, and at 25 we have the Mississippi, on and on and on and on, a long river, click, 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 click. And knowing that a car was a retrospective in an old and frustrating museum, but that doesn't matter now, not now that we're here and here and then here, and we've a register for this quiet, like Moon River or something else, another song. And looking down at the glass was like seeing the light gleam on a river caged in by water, like seeing oil on water, a variety of colors, bleeding all over the place at any pace, regardless of destination. The light would move quicker than we could, and you are thinking of adopting a highway, of finding the room to breathe. And sitting in that bar, headed for a white pillow-like sun, I'm a large automobile, always moving on and on and on and on, a train without station. And I'd head home intending to get out my encyclopedia, keener than ever, and wanting to improve my acquaintance with the natural world, to work out what my paleonomy might look like, and give an object of attention my own inherited name, and a word that could run like an adopted highway as far as we could take it. A word like sayonara, or a phrase like so long. Nina Simone. I've always been jealous of a song, no song in particular, but the simple idea of one. The vague idea that you could forgo control of yourself as a cultural object and travel, move, change shape, all hyena and horse or coyote, and not weather a storm but be one, drift and thunder, moving inland, slow, slow and steady. And I heard someone say that singing in the day was like screaming at a funeral, but being a song, you could be a different animal in each and every different room. A rooster, an eagle, a pelican, a porcupine. Collisions, and always a colossus of feelings, tinting buildings and bridges with your indecision. We only wanted ever to total art like a car, fold the body down like sheet metal into a calm pool of water and sing like monuments or minarets, calling things prayer rather than people to it. And you are the Colosseum, of course, hell-bent on organizing these long hours like long cups of coffee of a given morning or an assortment of foodstuffs on rye. And we often stand in awe of superficial things, which is why I like to stand beside you rather than look straight at you, asking things to last. And solidarity is never an uncomplicated thing in here, but standing here, we can point our fingers at similar things, give all our longings similar names, desire heavily, and stand with our backs to similar places. We hide all our ideas behind similar words, like feelings or fallen rain. I think of what you had on the beach to burn that afternoon, a blue deer at pace, bounding through a beautiful and useful forest of illusions and oak trees.